So yeah, a lot of options here, I think, with this bike. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to start with the seats and work my way with whatever I can get to first, whatever's in the way. So the goal is to basically get this frame stripped out to a roller. All right, looks like there's just 2 bolts holding this in. It's really hard to see under here. It's a real mess, so I'm just gonna go and pop these out. This seat looks like it's thoroughly roasted. I don't know if this is going to be salvageable at all. And no, that's completely garbage. So I'm going to pull this wheel out so I can get up to the bolts under here. And this will give me full access to everything back here. And I need to take the wheel off anyway because I'm going to put new rubber on it, clean up these, well, these are all pretty bad shape. We could leave it crusty, just clean it up like I did the pan head. But I think I might want to make this really nice. Maybe I'll buy a new wheel. It's always there's always something to think about with these. So let me go ahead and pull this wheel off. Just pull it out. There we go. Can't take the brake off yet. You can see here. It actually looks like the size of a front brake. I do actually have a hub from a '63 pan head. I don't know if it'll fit on here. The brake assembly that I have from a 1963, maybe 64. It needs the teeth to be tightened up, which just is breaking the rivets, put new rivets in it. I don't know if it'll fit this. I need to look up the part number, and if it's the same part number, then I have one. Otherwise, I need to buy the actual the brake drum here. So I'm going to go ahead and take these screws off, or these bolts. 1, 2. That looks like those are the ones holding the seat on, and then yeah, I think that's it. And then this sissy bar should be all by itself. So let's see if we can get the old seat off now. There we go. Yeah, the seat pan, see here, it's probably garbage too. I'll leave this connected for now, and let's see if I can move over and figure out how to take this oil tank out. So the oil tank, so I only see one connection point, and it's in here. Let me see if I can get the camera and show you. So right there is a bolt. Let's see if you can see it better. There it is. You can see it there. That's the only connection point that I can find on this entire tank. So let me pull that off. It's connected to a bunch of wiring here. So we'll see what comes with it. I'm not reaching that bolt with any tools that I have. It's way up in here. I'm going to take this fender off. That should give me a nice straight shot right back. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Alrighty, now we can get to this bolt. Looks like there's 2 of them down here. Yeah, that looks like that was all that was holding it on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out of here. Be right back. with my little catch there. And cut through these. Not much oil to catch. Interference with this part down here, so all right, I think I got it. Let's see what else is holding this on here. Just another oil line, it looks like. Here's our oil tank. As you can see, I like how this actually is designed. These doesn't even look like they were hooked up to anything, so I'm definitely going to use these switches. I think they're pretty cool. They look like they might even be light up switches, which is neat. This is easily replaced, and just need to clean out this tank. You know, that blue is kind of reminiscent of that blue that I have on the panhead. I don't think it's the same blue. The one on the panhead does have more of a metallic color to it. This all is nice. Hopefully the tank won't be in bad shape when I go to open it up. So you can see I have the fender off here. That was kind of a chore getting that off, and you can see there's a lot of paint coming off of it, some bubbling here, just general weathering and wear. So I'm probably going to have to strip this down, you know, to paint it up and fix it up. And so that means that I'm probably going to have to redo the whole frame here. So I kind of like this a lot, but you know, I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be able to duplicate this because I'm not an artist. I might be able to look at that and copy it, you know, a one-to-one copy, but that's not something I could just do in my mind like a lot of artists could. You know, back years and years ago, when I was in my early years, I liked to do a lot of art, but I didn't really carry it forward into my adult years, just because, you know, life and responsibilities. So, all right, maybe I'll clean up this rat's nest here and get this out of here. All these lines disconnected. Then I can make it to, oh yeah, look, they do have that same bracket. Okay, that's helpful. So 1, 2, there's 4 bolts there that need to come out. These are kind of stuck. I don't know if that needs to be cut off or what, but I'm hoping that once I disconnect these rear bolts here, I can kind of jimmy the engine with the lift and loose, so maybe it's just being pinched, and that'll allow me to pull these out. But at the least I can get all this garbage mess cleaned up here. So a lot cleaner. Probably not going to use these lights because I did get a whole bunch of lights from the swap meets, and the guy that I got this bike from, he's got like tons of Ironhead parts, and he had a pallet that he was letting go. So I ordered the pallet, and you know, it came with a bunch of stuff. You know, we got grips and all kinds of foot parts and risers and everything, right? So hopefully there'll be a nice set of lights in there. Oh, there they are. They're all up here. I have a whole bag full of the headlights, other stuff like that. So we'll find a replacement for those. Maybe we'll put them in the front too. I think I'm going to put blinkers on this bike just because, you know, I want it to be rideable on the street and not have to worry about morons. I mean, you always have to worry about morons, but you have less to worry about if they know where you're going. You don't just stop and turn in front of them. All right, moving on. So I need to take this old crusty battery box off. Had a hard time trying to figure out how it's installed. It looks like it was a wooden box in there. They all rotted away, but there are two connection points, one here and one in the cross corner diagonal. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get those bolts out, and hopefully I'll be able to do that without needing a wrench on the top to hold anything. That's a mess. I don't know what the heck is in here, but it's, let me don't dump that right in the garbage. All right, I don't know what they were trying to do there with that wood. Maybe padding, who knows, but I'm going to go ahead and put the bolts back on here so they don't get lost. They stay with this unit, and then once I clean this up I can determine whether it's still usable. It probably is. I don't see any major rust on it. It's just a lot of grime and gunk. Some rust down there, but that's underneath. Nobody can see that. Alright, so I got all this cleaned up finally, and disconnected a couple of things off camera just to get them out of the way here. It looks like we don't have a bolt down here. I don't know if there's needed one. There's a hole. So we have 1, 2, 3 for the back of the motor, and then whatever's up in the front of the motor. I don't see any connection points down here. There's this bolt here, which still has a bolt on the other side, I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's back behind this oil pump pressure sender, so I'll take this off, be able to reach that bolt. But I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to pull out the back bolts first and see how far I can get with just getting the thing loose out of here, so it kind of floats on a jack. All right, let me get my tools together and I'll start on this. That'd be helpful if I had those books. I don't think they're going to show up till tomorrow on Wednesday. All right, here we go. There's one. All right, I have all those out. I was able to get this bolt out here. That seems like it's the only one that the motor was connected to. Although, I might be wrong. I think there's another one over there. Hold on. See, I wish I had that book. Ah, yeah. Okay, so we do. We have this one right here. So I just need to pop that out, and that should be the final thing connecting the motor. I probably need to get a pump jack under that to hold it up. So when I release that, it's gonna go. The other thing is I probably need to do, and that nice big old rafter there, maybe I can mount my 1-ton lift to that, put that brace here, run the cable, kind of tip the motor over, let it fall out of the frame. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, this ought to be fun. Things not to do by yourself, but you have no choice. Alright, I got the winch hooked up, and I have a connection up to the motor. I'm already off of the motor here. Everything is relatively loose, and I just need to figure out, I think I need to move this over to the other side actually, because if you notice, that seems to slide this way. I couldn't get the drill level in the way I wanted to because I had this in the way, and so I didn't have a long enough drill bit. So I might have to just redo this I think what I'm going to do for now is just going to set this back down so we're not pulling this out. Maybe drop it down. Well, I'm going to leave it the way it is until I get back from lunch. So I'm going to load the wife up into the car. I'm going to go get some lunch. When I get back, I'm going to figure this out and see if I can get this motor out and maybe back onto that little pallet that I had on the floor. So stay tuned. I'll see you a little bit.